What's happened?
Well, I got some rubbish on the van and I brought it down to the burn pile. I'm stuck in the mud. I could feel myself getting angry, so I rang Ben and Paddy and asked them to come and help me.
Welcome back. It's episode 36 of Learning the Hard Way, and if you haven't been here before, my name is Ollie. I run a couple of companies, and this is a vlog showing the real behind the scenes of what it takes to try and get them to grow. This week, I'm coming back from Santorini. I'm also heading down to see Corker to learn a little bit more about their property development business and how we can implement that at Gregson Homes, and we're going to start the week where it's a few degrees warmer. Good morning from the very, very beautiful Santorini. Sun is shining, which is amazing because all I'm hearing from the guys at home and seeing on everyone's stories is how absolutely miserable the weather is. I'm not going to go into a speech about how important it is as a business owner to take time off and try and have a bit of a break and, yeah, do something that is truly restorative, because I'd say that's incredibly obvious. But it has been amazing. We've obviously got our Farnham project running at the moment. So literally looking out at the vista I'm looking across now, I can see all these stone terraced walls with olive trees planted on them, you know, completely naturally as they should be. And that is obviously what we are trying to replicate there. So it's really good, especially at this stage of the project where the final design decisions are being made, to actually come here and see all of this. Maybe I can put this trip through the company as a bit of R&D. Another reason I am vlogging over here in this beautiful little corner and not on the main strip is I cannot think of anything more uncomfortable than vlogging in front of people. Despite being on Santorini, which apparently is a bit of a vlogger's paradise, we are on the other side of the island, which is a bit quieter and a bit more remote. On a personal note, it's been an amazing trip with my wife. It's been active, it's been healthy, we've eaten amazing food. I've basically lived off incredible fresh fish, yogurt and honey and fruit, and yeah, it's been, I feel really good. A lot of people, myself included, have fallen into the trap of when you get a long weekend away or a few days off and the sun is shining and you're stressed out from work, just crack open a few beers and actually you end up sleeping awfully and coming back feeling worse than when you went away. So yeah, this is definitely a route I'm going to be taking on our next available opportunity to escape, because yeah, feel great, feel strong. Being here has just been a really good way of lying by the pool or by the sea, just brainstorming, which is fantastic. And I feel like I'm in a really good place to move forward with a lot of these plans. Yeah, very inspired to push on. So whilst I've been away, the landscaping and maintenance teams have been cracking on without me, which is fantastic to see. And now we're going to head over to Reading, where one of the landscaping teams is making it out the ground and starting paving.
Back at the job in Reading, we're high spirits. We've managed to have a pretty productive morning. We're really on the dig out still, kind of get the design off paper into reality. So yeah, we've managed to start getting the edging pavers in that are giving us the shape of all our pathways and allowing the client to see what the end sort of product's going to look like. And this morning we've started getting some limestone down. Strong back up to there, which is nice. Again, I think this morning we were a bit like, don't know how much we're going to be able to do because the rain was lashing down, but we got our marquee up and yeah, started to get some paving down. It's a sawn limestone, so nice sort of straight cut edges, 30mm thick, so it is heavy to lift. Heavy to sort of move around, but yeah. It's been a good start to the week, albeit damp. All in all, this job's a relatively simple build. The tricky thing with having a design and bringing that design to reality is all well and good drawing a design on a bit of paper, selling that, but it's making sure, you know, how is that actually going to work? The reality of it just wasn't going to work unless the clients were happy to bring in a silly amount of material to raise the level, or we'd have to drop this pad, which would then be under the top lawn. So yeah, it had to just be a little bit sort of creative and, you know, adapting to what we're working with. It's all about accountability and like who's accountable for it. You know, if it's a designer who's drawn and spec'd it, are they accountable for everything that's built as long as it's built to specification? Working with the same designer over and over again, these are where these little things will just get eked out, and that's obviously what, as a company, we're trying to sort of just build. We're trying to build relationships with designers that, you know, we can trust them, they can trust us, which just basically helps the whole process just become way easier and just like way more natural.
So over in Farnham, we've been having similar issues with the weather. The guys are making great progress though. We're patching up one of the old walls before making a start on our new ones.
Tuesday morning, everyone's on holiday, so just trying my best, you know. Not much has happened since you were last here. We've sort of just tied some little bits and bobs up. Kind of in the midst of it all because the weather's been stopping me in places, but yeah.
Just shifting some of the stone to continue this nice line against the fence. I was just saying it's like a small version of the stone that we use in Hambledon, which I really liked, and we just finished that job and it looks pretty good, especially once it's all washed. When you're finished with the wall and you give it a good sweep and a hose down, it will look, you know, hopefully it'll kind of come to life, which is cool.
When these walls dry up, we can use a sealer and seal them up, ready for chucking some adhesive on and chucking some cladding on basically, just to make sure that they're nice and watertight and nice and grippy for the adhesive. It's all weather dependent, but yeah, it's meant to dry up towards the end of the week, so yeah, Thursday, Friday maybe.
Particularly in the latter part of the flight, as we fight those strong winds, there is a chance a little bit of lump and bump. So if the seatbelt sign is turned on at any time, I'd ask you please to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
And just like that, we're back. It's always a bit of a slam to reality when you get back from being abroad, and yeah, nothing has changed. It's like you were never gone. I have, however, seemingly brought a little bit of sunshine with me. We landed last night, the rain was absolutely insane. The taxi on the way back was it was pretty terrifying. I am straight into a pretty flat out schedule. I'm quickly out with the dogs and then heading off to a meeting for some work at an existing sort of ongoing project. Well, I mean, unfortunately, it was work done by another company a few years ago that's gone horribly wrong, surprise, surprise, which is, yeah, a real shame. But we can put it right. It's obviously just going to cost the client. But yeah, Hardwood is seemingly all okay, all sort of quiet on the home front, which is amazing. Going to head over to one of Jay's maintenance jobs now, and it's a garden that I built probably 5-6 years ago. The original client actually, unfortunately, has passed away, and so these are new owners who have got us back into the garden. So they've inherited what was a very lovely, very expensive planting plan once upon a time, but it's incredibly overgrown, unmanageable. They don't really like it, so they've now commissioned us to rip quite a lot of it out and start again. So they're working with Jay to sort of specify a new planting plan. So they're over there at the moment making a real mess, ripping everything out, but it's breaking eggs to make an omelette. Let's go see what they're up to.
We're in Hambledon at the moment. This garden was inherited by the current client, and the garden, it was pleasant enough. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't overgrown or anything really. It just didn't suit the client's wishes, desires for their own garden. So at the moment we're on stage one, which is just pulling excess plants out that are unwanted. My God, you've never seen so much rosemary in all your life. And it was literally everywhere. Off she goes. And then phase two will be planting in things that this client particularly likes, and creating a new aesthetic feel to this garden. Now, look, when this garden was created and designed and
then built by a landscaper. They've put electrics in and they've drilled electrics in the wall. First problem I can see is there's no cap on the back of the light, which is obviously shining on the other side. There's no cap on it, which means water is just going to go straight in to the electrics at the back here. Second problem is these cables are just sat in the soil. They are not in armoured cabling or in a form of conduit, so there's absolutely nothing to stop me as a gardener who knows nothing about these wires being here, going straight through it with a spade, which I just have. Thank you, landscaper.
So I don't know where they've got my email address, but there's an auction site that is largely linked to company liquidations. Obviously, it's not nice to see sort of companies going bust, but yeah, there's some absolute steals. We've got lots of two-stroke garden maintenance machinery. There are lots of whacker plates. There are cement mixers, generators. Wow. Yeah, there's some great stuff on here. This has the potential to be dangerous. I've never bought used power tools or machinery before, but anything with an engine, I'm actually pretty happy buying used, and there are some absolute steals on here. But yeah, all these transformers, £30 for a 110 site transformer, and there's Leica laser levels, £75 for a calibrated laser. Walkie-talkies, I would love a set of walkie-talkies. I can call the office downstairs on walkie-talkies. Anyway, that's not what you're here to watch, me getting excited about online shopping. So after yesterday being a pretty admin heavy day, I get to spend today back on the roads, checking in with some of the guys, seeing how the sites are going and having a look at a new project. I'm out on the road, nobody asked me to be, but it's always good keeping an eye on what everyone is up to. We're making a good dent in all of this really lovely stone cladding, so it's great to see these packs all being opened and everything sort of being moved up and into place. And stars of the show are amazing olive trees. They don't look quite as happy here as they do in Santorini, and the clients have found these two smaller ones to complement them, so we've got 5 in total. These are the main impact pieces. So yeah, really looking forward to getting those up. The guys have made a start on cladding, on getting the stone slips in. So fighting with the rain, fighting with the weather, but we've got gazebos, we've got DPM, we've got tarpaulins. A steady start, a considered start, a careful start. How do you think it's going?
It's going all right. Nice.
So I'll flip you around, show you what it's looking like. So this is just the first sort of sample panel, having a bit of a play with what we're doing. The stone is backed off and pretty consistently about 50mm thick, which means we are using it as a cladding. Obviously, in theory, it means there's pretty minimal intervention needed from us as the tradesmen to actually build it and get it looking amazing, but of course they are all over the place in every other dimension. We're going for a more dry stone stacked look here. The clients have just seen it for the first time. She loves it, very happy with it. So the guys will crack on. It's always getting your head into working with products like this. It's always just a little bit slow the first couple of days, readjusting, and then it should speed up, or it has to speed up a little bit. The clients actually like the really small infill pieces. Now that's not something we would normally do, but they like it, so we're going to put it in, and what it means is it's going to make the whole installation significantly quicker for them. We have got Matt back from holiday tomorrow, so he is going to be coming here to give Harry a hand. He's got a couple of meetings tomorrow for some new jobs, but he's going to have about half a day here tomorrow. And then next week, I'm going to see if I can move things around to put him here pretty much all week to really hit the ground running with this cladding. So it's going to be Matt and Harry both up here, both cladding. Yeah, just being as efficient as we can be. Just had the first meeting of the day, and it's this incredible garden that we have done hard landscaping, before. We already do maintenance here, so yeah, fantastic client. Their tennis courts, they've got some subsidence, so they've asked us to have a look. We didn't put the tennis court in, but they've asked us to have a look at solutions, retaining walls, etc., looking at how we can shore this bank up. So you can see here where all of the edging is slipping away. This whole corner of the paving, thank you Kobe, has actually dropped away. So the paving is moving. I'm walking around on some of these slabs, they are loose as well. So yeah, it needs to be looked at properly. We've got to have a measure up and get them some quotes, some options for pinning it all in place and stopping it moving. I guess the last thing they want is going to be a tennis court sliding down the hill. Shooting around this morning, it's now midday. Good to see how Farnham's getting on. Happy, yeah, really happy clients. Also met our clients in Hambledon. The first time I met them, just because I was local looking at another job, so I popped in to see Jay, who wasn't there because he got the van stuck in the mud at the yard. So I missed Jay there, but it was good to see Charlie and the rest of the team working well. They're doing some maintenance work there. Also got to see Matt's amazing wall in the flesh, and boy does it look good. Heading back to the yard now. Got to sit down with Henry, sit down with the farm, and talk about so we've had a couple of CCTV and alarm system quotes back in now, so we're going to go through those together and just actually have a really detailed look at what's included and who's offering what. One's obviously double the price of the other, etc., so that we can get that ordered and on the way. But yeah, well done Hardwood. Catch up with you all a little bit later. So as many of you will know, Gregson Homes is another business of mine that's been working hard in the background, and today we're off to see a man about a house. As you can see, we've made it over to Corker. Have we seen Ollie on the vlogs yet?
Hello everyone, nice to meet you all. I'm Oliver Corkery. Second name's Corkery, we're Corker without the Y. We was just a really local sort of aggregate company, and when we moved to this yard, we rebranded, launched this concept, and it was a massive success, mate. So we just drove loads of footfall down here for that launch event, and it was massive, and it just sort of spread like wildfire for that sort of like first 3 years.
Amazing. So you've obviously got, you're displaying everything that you guys sell here, but obviously along the border you can see all of these little show garden plots, and there's 15 in total.
15, yeah.
So it's essentially it's landscapers and designers that these guys work with, and so big spending customers will get the opportunity to have a show garden plot here, which as a landscaping company, especially if you're focusing on a local market, is one amazing opportunity.
So like we give you a physical space over your website that you can show your clients, and so they can come down and see the detail of your work and how good your work is. But as the retail customers come around at the weekend or in the week, they can basically just follow this step-by-step guide. If this garden is the one you like, it's garden 4. They follow the steps, they scan here, and we can connect you automatically to the landscaper. So we basically generate you leads, and then the garden specs our products, and we all just flourish together. So what it creates is a really lovely sort of tight-knit, invested community in each other's, and it's all about support and community and helping each other flourish. So that's what we really love doing.
You can see in the background as we walk along, each of these plots is, they're very different aesthetics, it's very unique styles.
Different budget for everyone. That garden, the little cottage garden that we've just walked past, that was one of the original ones. That is the only original one left, basically.
Wow.
This back space before was just gravel, and at the back was just security fence, and it was always our idea to put a bar and an entertaining space back here.
It's an amazing space, and you guys host sort of networking here, industry events. There was one scheduled today, but good old British weather has put a stop to that, which is a real shame. I mean, the fact that these guys are able to have created something like this, just as a little independent merchant, it's incredible, and it puts all of the national big boys to shame, really. As amazing as all of this is, the reason that we are here today, as we've touched on, is Gregson Homes is looking at some property stuff. Ollie's really helping me with that, and they've actually got a development going at the moment. It's just down the road, so we're going to go and have a look. So we've just pulled up to Bass Orchards, which is Corker Brothers development. It's a joint venture with Farnham. And yeah, this is your first one that's first one that's been built out. So a bit of an inspiration for me.
Five units,
Yeah.
2 4-beds. This one's reserved. Hopefully this one tomorrow will be reserved.
Yeah.
And then we've got the 2 3-beds and 1 5-bed.
Yeah.
And then we've got viewing on this one tomorrow as well.
Viewing on this one here.
Yeah.
Amazing. One thing that's been super great watching and learning from Ollie as well is how is their marketing strategies. I mean, pretty much everything is spoken for already now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So like what we've learnt, just sort of bringing that modern era across to, the development industry, which is, quite an old school industry still, I would say. Bringing that experience with the digital ads, targeted ads, running good content that's engaging. We've driven 162 leads to this site already for just 5 houses, and that's all, all independently. We're not with an agent, we're not on Rightmove. So it works, and that's with a small budget really. We're only spending £500 a month to boost those ads.
Yeah. So
we got the Rightmove search data, and then we fed that into Facebook. We ran a super targeted campaign in them areas only, so like Tunbridge Wells, Tunbridge. There was a bit in like sort of Beckenham, sort of Welling area.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what we've done.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we've got 2 months until we sort of lead to Christmas. We're going to double the budget and double the radius to just over the next 8 weeks just drive as much leads.
Everyone goes quiet and gets distracted.
But I'm confident that we get them all done. We're not on site saying, okay, we'll put, for example, we've got 2 outdoor lights, but just an example. If there was 1 outdoor light spec, we're not saying to the site manager, put 2 in there.
Yeah.
Because all those extra costs will soon quickly accumulate across all the units. Saying, I'll put another plug socket over there, please.
Yeah.
Those costs will spiral quickly.
Yeah.
So we are really just sort of sitting back, letting Michael lead so we can learn. It's a risky game. It's a very risky game.
Absolutely. And as people who watch the vlogs, I'm sure will see that my main strategy is surrounding myself with people who are better than me and have been doing what I want to do for longer than me and make the mistakes for me.
Well, once you're immersed in it and you're doing it, you'll learn just so quickly.
Yeah.
So you've got a utility there, you've got downstairs toilet where you are, Paddy, you've got an office. So they've all got offices. So we wanted to design them for.
So that's probably quite a new thing now, isn't it? Having houses built actually with working from home taken into consideration.
The main garden's on that side, so it's quite a short garden, so we wanted to put bifolds in here, so in the summer you can open it up and the space feels a lot bigger.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like the space has been well used.
This is the master bedroom. Bed here.
Wardrobe space, nice.
TV. You've got built-in wardrobes either side, and then ensuite.
Yeah. What units are the furthest along?
So the 3 beds are, probably a couple of weeks ahead of schedule.
Amazing. So we're into the 3 beds now, which are, as Ollie was just saying, actually a couple of weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah, nice high skirtings, nice finishings to give it that really sort of nice quality feel, not just some flimsy bit of skirting.
Yeah.
Solid doors, nice finishings on the.
I like door handles. Yeah, that's smart.
It's all quality. Bathroom.
Yeah. These are actually plastered and mist coat on. Tiles on the wall. Wow.
Nice, isn't it? Do you like the tiles?
Really nice. Yeah, I do like the tiles. How much choice in the actual finish have you had, or have you largely left that to Michael and his experience and judgment?
The CGIs that we created had a different tile.
Okay.
Like, have you seen them slim sort of like ceramic, sort of glossy tiles?
Yeah.
So we had them in this like the shower, but once we got a price for them, was procuring them, it was just way over budget for all the units. So we had to
went for a larger format.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're nice though. I think they're really nice.
Yeah.
All the sort of textures and veins through them.
Yeah, and then you got in here. This is the master bedroom.
Because they're light in colour, it looks, the room looks big and spacious.
Yeah,
especially with the natural light as well. And and again, that looks great. What's the market value of these?
This is 625. That one's 599.
So for 625,000, this is for sale.
And I think because
If you come through me, you'll get a discount as well.
yeah, hit the links below, babe.
Yeah, use Hardwood 10 at checkout. No, they're really smart, mate.
What do you think of the block paving?
I think with this scheme, with all these big windows and dark cladding, I think they should go for a slightly more contemporary colour scheme, some sort of grey tones maybe. Let's see what else he's got. Might keep that quiet though. Yeah, they're lovely.
I didn't know those two pink ones.
That's exactly what I was just saying. That's obviously very traditional, and mixed with a traditional, red brick house, I think would look great.
Yeah.
But something like a dual tone grey pave, so like a charcoal border and then a grey infill, would tie in really nicely with with the anthracite and the dark cladding.
We did have grey originally spec'd in the
Yeah.
original CGIs, and then we changed it for some reason.
What are you leaning towards?
Don't know.
I mean, I think like a two-tone grey scheme would look really smart, just because of the square, angular, sort of like the big windows, the anthracite frames, the dark cladding. That would tie the groundworks into the houses really nicely.
Yeah, I think they are two pink ones.
But
it's hard, isn't it?
it's all right, it's not my house.
I'll bring my wife up here when the grey ones turn up. She can choose.
Yeah,
Then I've got
exactly.
someone to blame, mate. You know what I mean?
There we go. That is Bass Orchards, and it's a lot of inspiration for me. It's obviously why I'm here, and super grateful to Ollie for being so generous with his time, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Building a network, and it's why these videos have been so good. Since announcing that Gregson Homes is picking up a bit of momentum. Also, I mean, I've had two people I've never met or never even spoken to on LinkedIn reach out saying that when we're ready to raise, that they would like to speak about investing. And I've also had two developers who I've never met email me sites that are close to us that are too far away for them. So yeah, don't have that old limiting belief of don't tell anyone what you're doing. It's a secret, everything's a secret. Tell people and share it, and it will attract all the right sort of energy and opportunity. And I know Ollie's a big believer in that as well. So yeah, watch this space. But we've got to go and sit down inside now and stare at some screens and look at the potential opportunities that Ollie's team have found for us, basically. So.
Do you want me to say something?
So there you go, that's it. Another week of learning the hard way under our belts. And as you can probably tell, we're still playing around with the format of these vlogs a little bit. So any feedback would be really appreciated in the comments below. Of course, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you next Sunday at 8:30.